All right, can y'all hear me okay? Well, good morning and thank you, Missy. And I'm starting to feel like this is a little bit more normal. I'm looking forward to being able to take the mask off, and I know all of you all are. Um, and as I welcome you all here today, there's a pretty small crowd here, but this seems a little bit like the world we're living in right now. I'm usually talking to a small group of people, and I'm online with a bigger group. So I want to welcome everybody here today, and just say thank you to all those that will watch this. And so we're getting near the time of our kickoff of our 16th annual Covenant Health Knoxville Marathon. And once again this year, Covenant Health is the presenting sponsor of the event and working very closely alongside the Knoxville Track Club and the city of Knoxville and many other supporters that will probably be mentioned today. You know, as I was thinking about this event, a really good question to ask your presenting sponsors: why do you do this? Why participate in this? And what I would say to you is that this marathon is much more than a day race. And obviously we're going to talk a little bit about the event that we're going to do here. It's going to be a little different anyway, but it's much more than a race. It really is about people making a decision sometime in the year about changing their lifestyle. And we've seen teams all across the city of individuals who have somewhere in the year decided, you know what, I really want to have a more healthy lifestyle. And then this event is the culmination of all that work that they've done. The mission of Covenant Health is to improve the quality of life through better health. And so when I think about this event, and a lot of people know I'm not supposed to say what's my favorite event, but I have to say this is my favorite event. And I love it so much because it really is about people improving their quality of life and making those decisions. Obviously this year is a little different, and maybe that's an understatement, as we all deal with different things throughout our lives right now. Life as we know it has kind of changed, but we have to adopt. And so you're going to hear more details today how we're going to run the marathon really in a different way. For the first time ever in the event's history, and I will admit, I hope we're going to enjoy this, but we're going to hope this is the last time that we actually have a virtual race. And again, you're going to hear some more detail about that in terms of how we can try to keep everybody safe while we do this event. The race this year is not just a weekend event. It is a 9-day event beginning Saturday, November the 7th, and continuing through Sunday, November the 15th. Now, if you've ever, we're going to encourage you to sign up and to do something unique this year. How can you participate in the race? I would encourage you to kind of look at your schedule. It's kind of a real unique opportunity to run a race on your own schedule. One of my teammates who's in the crowd is going to do her first ever marathon. And I'm going to guess she's probably not going to do it all at one time. I'm going to guess she's going to do it over a period of time. And I just want to encourage you, and again, you're going to hear some other people share a little more details of that, but I think this year also creates a uniqueness in how you can participate in this year's race. I'm grateful for every person who plans to participate in the marathon and be part of this race, and the supporters and the cheerleaders and the parents, the sponsors, the advocates that are part of this. And we want to make this year 2020. We all know 2020 is a memorable year, but we want to make this a memorable race. To our community planners, to this city of Knoxville, I want to say thank you. To our entire community that's been real flexible during this time to try to figure out how to do this and how not to miss a year. When again, we know for so many people this is such an important event because it's part of how they've created their journey for a healthier life. This year, we're thrilled to announce that there are 800 participants registered for the kids race. Now, for those of you who have never seen the kids race, I want you to come next year when we're live. You got to see the kids race. It is one of my favorite things to watch. It's a group of kids, and for those of you who do the race, they just take off like crazy. I mean, they get on the bridge over here and they sprint, and then a lot of them, when they hit the corner, they kind of wear out. And then others do an incredible job. But it is such an incredible opportunity, and such an opportunity to really teach, again, get our kids in a habit of living a healthy lifestyle. In addition, I'm excited to announce that we have 600 Covenant Health employees that are going to participate in this event. And that's a lot more, and I don't miss you, that's a lot more than we've ever had. And I'm looking forward to seeing some of the social media posts as our teammates are involved in that, and as they continue to look at how they can improve their quality of life. The funds that are raised at this event are reinvested in the community. And just to tell you, one of those things that those dollars go toward is a real unique program that Patricia Neal puts on that allows people with different disabilities to participate in normal events that you and I think about all the time, whether that's water skiing or whether that's playing golf. And so some of the dollars that will be raised from this will go into events to help those people get to experience some real unique events in their life that many for us seem like normal things. Race director Jason Altman will soon join us and give you a whole lot more detail about the events, but all the events that we've had every year will be available to you this year as well. Even as we stay social distance, participate in a new way, it's going to be another great year for the Covenant Health Knoxville Marathon. Once again, we are very proud to be the presenting sponsor and grateful to all the people who make this event work. My hope is that participants will meet their goals this year. And again, you have a little more opportunity being flexible how you do that, but you'll meet your goals. And to stay fun, stay healthy and have fun. Now, before I introduce our mayor, Kincannon, every year, so I've been the CEO of Covenant now for almost 5 years, and I think I've spoken at this about 7 years. And in the past, I used to have this fun thing going with Mayor O'Hara. And what we would do is we would have this thing of, hey, we're going to run the race this year. And so she knew I wasn't going to, and I knew she wasn't going to, so it was kind of fun. Now, I think I realized I can't do that to you.
Hey, come join us.
Because if I do that to you, you're going to say, come join us. And so, but I always have this, I'm trying to I want everybody to be encouraged. This is a great race, you ought to do it. But I have to usually speak at the race, and so I always tell people, man, I'd love to be down there with you, but I got to kick off the race. But with no further ado, I want to introduce to you our Mayor Kincannon and just tell you I appreciate all you do for the City of Knoxville. Thank
you. Good morning. It's a beautiful day, and I am so thankful for Covenant Health. Jim, thank you for the kind words. And I have been involved in this race with my kids. The Knoxville Marathon is a big part of our community, and my family's been involved. I've raced the half marathon, and when I ran for mayor, a healthy Knoxville was a big part of my goal, and it still is. And I'm so grateful that the marathon is going to continue because a healthy Knoxville is important to all of us. When we were gearing up, my team, we were going to do a relay, and it was planned for the end of March, and then the pandemic hit. And Covenant and the city, and we all decided that postponing was the good idea. But as Dr. Buchanan and other public health people have said all along during 2020, this is a marathon, not a sprint. And so I'm so glad that the marathon goes on. We are adapting, and we are persevering, and health is more important now than ever. So I was sad to not be able to run in March, but we're running here in the next 2 weeks. We're going to participate. I've got a team with the City of Knoxville, and I'm going to join with the people all across the city, and we're going to post our pictures, and we're going to share our healthy habits, and we're going to inspire each other to get out there. It's a little colder now, but I like to run in the winter more than the summer because I'm never warmer than in the middle and the end of my run. And you know what else is amazing is that endorphin rush. Whether you're walking or whether you're running, whatever you do, it helps our mental health to be outside, to exercise, and to be something that's part of the whole community. So this marathon I've always looked at this as a time for Knoxville to shine. It showcases our volunteerism, our athleticism, and the power of what we can accomplish when we all work together. I'm looking forward to participating this year more than ever because we need it more than ever, and I'm excited that so many people are involved. As we all pivot to find new ways to enjoy the things we love, we are finding a new way to take part in the Knoxville Marathon. So thank you to Covenant Health, thank you to the Knoxville Track Club, and for all the other partners for moving this year's event to a virtual format. We may not be running alongside each other, but we're committed to our community's health and still running together virtually. So my team will be logging our runs and showing our support on social media in the weeks ahead, and I look forward to seeing everyone else's photos as well. The virtual race allows all of us to run the designated course on our own time explore a new course, or just hit our neighborhood streets. So no matter how you decide to run this race, getting outside is good for the mind, body, and soul, especially now during the pandemic of 2020. So with that said, I am excited to join everybody here to share the news that we anticipate bringing this race back to our streets in 2021. Next year's marathon dates are March 27th and 28th, and the more precautions we take now, the better chance we can all get back together for events like this in the coming year, which is something I know we all want to work towards. So thank you everybody for adapting, for pacing ourselves as we get through this race, the running race and the race of dealing with this pandemic. And whether virtually or in person, the Knoxville Marathon inspires hope and goal setting for so many in our community and beyond. So now I'm going to turn things back over to Missy, who's going to get more into some of the details. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mayor, and thank you for being such a great example to everybody to get out and exercise safely. We appreciate that. And someone that gets out often and exercises inside and outside. I'm going to bring up Jason Altman, the director of the Covenant Health Knoxville Marathon, and he's always cool and collective, you know, when it gets race time. But I think it's really we appreciate his effort this past year because he does handle stress well, except for letting his hair grow. But that's another old story. But you know, Jason is a great runner in himself. He's run Chickamauga and won it over 4 times, okay. And well, and one marathon he did this past spring was pretty incredible because he ran a whole marathon on the treadmill, which is very dedicated. So Jason's going to come up and share a little bit about what's going to go on, and he's been great this whole year. He and Christy both about encouraging people online about doing some virtual. We all need goals. We all need goals set out there that we can achieve fitness and health-wise, and you've kept people going this whole time. So come on up, Jason Altman.
You say cool, calm, and collected. I gotta say that running 26 miles on a treadmill helps with your mindset during a global pandemic. So. Thanks, Missy. I want to thank American Cannon for sharing the exciting news today. Also want to thank you for your leadership. Our city is fortunate to have you serving as mayor, and we look forward to partnering with the city of Knoxville for the months and years to come. Also want to take a minute to thank Jim and his staff at Covenant Health. For 15 years, we've been able to just cross the T's, dot the I's, and execute a great marathon weekend. Certainly, the conversations this year have been a lot different than they've been in the past. But we applaud you and your leadership team for trusting us, believing in us, and working with us, not just for this November and the virtual pivot, but also looking forward to a live event next spring. Well, let's talk about what we're going to do for November's virtual edition of the Covenant Health Knoxville Marathon. The virtual event is going to allow registrants to participate with a flexible time frame throughout the week starting November 7th and concluding on November 15th. The virtual event includes all of our normal race distances: the marathon, half marathon, 2-person relay, 4-person relay, 5K, and Covenant Kids Run. The regular start line, mile markers, and finish line, the actual route has been touched up with paint. Registrants can use the markers to run the actual route during the 9-day race period, or they can complete their run or walk at their preferred location, such as in a neighborhood, on a greenway, on a trail, or on a treadmill. Many schools and companies have reached out to me and said they encourage their students or employees to complete their race distance on their respective campus, which goes back to what you were talking about, the Kids Run. There are many options. We encourage registrants to complete their mileage where they feel most safe and where they feel most comfortable. Although the event is virtual this fall, registrants still need the opportunity to pick up their race packets. Packet pickup will be held on Saturday, November 7th from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. and then on November 8th from 1 to 5 behind me at the World's Fair Exhibition Hall. Temperature checks and masks will be required for all volunteers and attendees. We will also utilize the large space in the hall in order to practice safe social distancing measures. After participants have completed their mileage, they can input their data into the results page on the marathon website. As data comes in over the course of the 9 days, the results page will post leaderboard results and cumulative team results for the relay teams. We'll then be able to send awards to the top finishers in each respective event after the time frame concludes. Registration for the virtual race is still open and will continue to be open through Sunday, November 15th. Anyone who's interested can go to knoxvillemarathon.com. I want to conclude today with a little bit of a personal note. Earlier this month, the reporter asked me the same question I've heard hundreds of times over the last 15 years. She said, "I know you direct the marathon, but you run the marathon too, right?" And I started my auto response. I said, "No, actually, race day is just so busy, there's not enough time, and I don't have the opportunity." So I paused. I thought about it. Said, "You know what? I haven't been able to run it since 2005, which was the inaugural year. With the unique format we have this year, yes, I will run the marathon. So I'm going to be I'll be one of the 5,000 participants in the virtual event, and I brought with me one of the perks that our participants will get. I created my own 2020 digital race bib with my custom name on it. As we heard earlier, this brings us to the mayor. American Cannon has been a loyal participant in Knoxville Track Club races. I remember seeing you at Strawberry Plains back in February. Many of our trail races over the years. So I also brought you your very own 2020 digital race bib with your name on it.
Thank you. Can I come get it?
Sure.
Okay. Thank you so much. That's going to be awesome.
Not wanting Jim to be left out, I also brought a bib for you, sir. Now, you've said for years.
I did. I have.
You have.
I have.
And maybe this year,
All right.
the strangest of years,
Strangest.
is finally your year.
I'm officially registered.
You are.
Okay, I gotta do it now.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you, Jason. That's awesome. You guys want to get? I was just going to post
Thanks everybody, and if you've got any questions for them, they'll be over here. You can ask Jim about his training schedule, and maybe Debbie can help with the training schedule. But anyway, that's all for today, and thanks so much for coming out.
With this background?
And with your bibs.
Oh, yeah.
Actually, you know what? Let's not do that because we can see the shadows of everyone.
Okay. Okay.
We'll get the sun sphere.
Okay. Sounds good.
Come on in, Missy. What are you doing?
Okay. Are you running it?